So Discords, courses, mentorship, all that good stuff. Is it really worth it? Is it a scam? Are people doing this because it's easier than actually selling on Amazon FBA? These are all questions and just things we're going to go over through in this video. So sit back, relax, be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment down below, let me know what your opinion is on this topic. And yeah, just sit back guys, because I'm just going to ramble on here. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and just listen to me on the background. So when it comes to Discords, mentorships, courses, all that stuff, it's become so frowned upon in 2023, 2024 in the Amazon community in general. And frankly, I don't blame some of these sellers for bashing on these type of people for selling nothing but courses, Discord groups, lead list stuff, all that stuff. I don't blame it because you'll have sellers who are doing like literally their first 10K month in revenue selling on Amazon, and all of a sudden they want to drop a course, they want to mentorship you, they want to show you all this and that. And that's the part to me too that kind of just makes no sense in my opinion. All right, again, this is just all my opinion. You can take it however you guys want to take it, but it's just it's just crazy to me. Like, dude, you did 10K in revenue at a best case scenario, assuming you're doing like OA, RA, or even wholesale. You made at least $1,000 in profit, and that's on assuming that you're factoring all your returns, all your expenses, cost of goods, like all those numbers. Because on average in this business model, after all your expenses, your true margins and whatnot will be around 10 and 15%. And so, at the best case scenario, you probably make $1,500, but that's not even including especially when using credit cards, any money you probably will need to take out from your actual profits to pay down some of your credit cards. And because that's not factored into none of your P&Ls, because it's not something that's really tracked on from most sellers. You'll need an actual good bookkeeper to really know more or less, how much your actual profits are going to look like. Because yeah, you may have spent like, I don't know, let's say $5,000 on some inventory the month before. You put that $5,000 on the credit card, but you probably only sold enough to pay some of it, maybe not all of it. And so, that forces you to take out profits in order to pay that. And then not to mention the taxes, after that $1,500 or $1,000 profit that you made, with taxes, you basically, at a worst case scenario, you're looking at 30% paying in taxes. So 30% of 1,000, you're down to like $700, in actual profit. Not to mention money needed to continue growing. So you really can't even grow much if you're not putting all that money to growing. And so, that being said, you factor in all these numbers, you factor in all, this stuff you go through. And, I don't blame people for bashing on sellers who, make their first 10K and all of a sudden make themselves seem like, experts in the space, old gurus. They seem to flash the most stuff, Miami, fancy cars and whatnot. And it's like, bro, no way did you ever afford that car doing this, making only 10K a month. Like, no freaking way. So it's just funny. And I can see why people get backlash for when they drop these courses, these Discord groups, and all that stuff. But I also say this too because at the end of the day, there are some genuine people, who are in the space, who've done the work, who've put in the time, they've put in the years actually. And so there are some of those sellers that are out there and have done this legitimately and have earned the actual credit, the actual respect to be able to do these type of things, right? Because there are certain sellers that I've bought courses from, I've joined Discord groups, all that good stuff. The only thing I haven't done is a full mentorship. That's because I never been able to afford one. And by the time I really could afford one, at that point it was already like, okay, I kind of learned more or less all this knowledge at this point. So, but yeah, dude. Courses in Discord groups can be very helpful, assuming you pick the right mentors, the right groups, and just the right person to actually lead you. I think where most people get really distracted by some of these groups and whatnot is they see some seller who came from $0 starting, and then out of nowhere hit like a 6-figure a month within like 2-3 months or something. And guys, I said this before in a previous video, unless you're starting this business model with tons of capital, tons of credit available at your disposal, you're not going to achieve that in such a short amount of time. Okay? And I don't care what anybody says. You can disagree with me all you want on this. But in 2 or 3 months, you are not achieving those, type of big numbers, especially if you're starting out with a very low budget in this Amazon space. Assuming you don't have no extra capital, no extra credit cards, and, just any extra lending in general. Because, yeah, a low amount is going to take you a while to reinvest those profits and really grow this business. And so that leads me back to how you choose your mentors, right? You see these guys or even girls come up like that, and you assume that this is going to help you grow that fast. But again, unless you're starting out with that much capital, guys, it really makes no difference. Like, it's not really going to help you, to be honest. Not to mention the fact that, you don't really see what's going on behind the scenes as well, right? Because at the end of the day, us as Amazon sellers, all we see is those orange bars, right? And especially people from the outside looking in, all you see is the screenshots of the orange bars being posted. You don't see how much, that inventory cost. You don't see how much the supplies cost for those numbers. You don't see all the work that went behind those numbers. Heck, you don't even see all the debt behind those numbers, all right? I mean, let's be honest. There are some sellers who are taking on major debt just to, increase their revenue orange bars. Without really worrying about profits, because at the end of the day, where they're really going to make their money is from, selling you how to do this, right? So you really need to be careful who you're following in this space, especially when they're offering you, mentorship, freaking courses, discords. And not to mention the fact that there's literally people who, they claim they made X amount in 1 year and they're able to afford like a G-Wagon or some bull crap. Like, dude, no. A freaking G-Wagon is going to take you freaking longer than expected, even if you hit $1 million in revenue, all right? No way are you buying a freaking G-Wagon freaking cashed out. Like, no. Maybe in payments. I mean, heck, that might be more realistic, but you definitely don't have that G-Wagon paid out, bro. Like, no. Like, quit playing around. But I say all this too, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, I really want you guys to really know how to determine, who's more legit in the game, who's actually someone that if I buy their course, if I buy their mentorship, if I buy, their Discord group or whatever, are they actually, fully equipped to do what I need them to help me do? Because some of these people in the space, I mean, it's crazy. You should see some of my DMs. Like, I've had people who DM me some of the most simplest things ever, and yet they're out here, running mentorship ads. They're out here running course ads or Discord group ads. And it's insane to me because I look at these ads and I'm just like, dude, you literally DM me about this and that. How are you expertise enough to teach someone else when you yourself don't even know this stuff, So it just blows my mind, to be honest. Like, it's just crazy, So now, though, with that being said, too, like I said, some groups, courses, mentorships can be worth it, okay? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've taken my fair share of courses when I started. I've taken my fair share of, like lead groups, Discord groups, and all that. They can be helpful, okay? I'm not want to bash on them too much, but like I said, it just depends who's really offering that service. Because at the end of the day, you just really want to buy, a service from someone that you can actually trust and has, skin in the game, right? Because that's what it comes down to. Because, I mean, let's be honest. 90% of the people dropping these things are complete garbage. They're literally the same crap that they saw someone else from YouTube or from a different course, put it on their own words, and really just, say the same thing. And these days, it's just getting out of hand, to be honest. I mean, especially in the OA community, right? The arbitrage community in general. Discords these days are offering lead lists, leads per day, which I can kind of understand. You want to offer as much value to your customers and whatnot. But at the same time, you're damaging them by kind of just giving them leads that aren't going to work out, that are going to tank, that are going to just, lose money. And so in that retrospect, it kind of isn't really being helpful. It's more being kind of damaging to your customers. Even in the wholesale space, I mean, there's freaking people offering wholesale leads out here. Like, dude, what the hell? Like, you mean to tell me you have one wholesale supplier that's supposed to be very good, it's a wholesale supplier, and you're offering all these leads to your Discord group members? Like, that's freaking insane, dude. That's just gonna lead to the same mistakes that you guys are seeing in the arbitrage space, which leads to tanking, products not working out, buy box repression. Like, dude, you're literally just repeating the same thing you're seeing in the arbitrage space into the wholesale space. So I don't think those wholesale leads are honestly being any helpful for a lot of you. If anything, they're just being more damaging in the wholesale community, in my opinion. Because now you're gonna have your own group members or whoever out there competing with the big boys. Oh yeah, my buy cost was $5. Guess what though? That big boy's buy cost was probably like $2. So you can go ahead and list that product with, and that like your 50 group plus members all on one, product. But that seller's gonna be freaking taking that shit $3 down and still be, being able to break even. Meanwhile, your members are gonna basically be losing money. So it's just crazy to me how in 2024 we're really going forward and just in general how the business is going. And the truth is that at the end of the day, guys, these Discord groups, mentorships, courses, they really do end up making more money at a more convenient way than selling on Amazon itself. It's just the bottom line truth, dude. Like, as much as I hate to admit it, as much as anybody else would probably hate to admit it, it's just the bottom line truth. And that's exactly why a lot of sellers do it. And again, my thing is just that if you don't have experience yet to really back it up, you really shouldn't be doing it, to be honest, in my opinion. But if you have, some skin in the game, you've been doing it, and you're willing to teach it to others, then, why not, right? And that's one thing I've been noticing too myself is, I've been in this business for like 4+ years now, running this thing. Actually 5 years now since we're in 2024. And so, I've come to the realization that I kind of want to help more people out based on the knowledge that I know too. So I know that from certain sellers, point of view, there's that aspect as well, right? Of actually wanting to help people, but having the actual, respect, the actual history to back it up. Because honestly, I have all the history posted on Instagram where I've just, from day one kind of just posted all the way up. And so, there's nothing that I can say I ever faked in my, journey whatsoever. Until 5 years later now, I'm at the point where, I do offer consultation calls. I have the Discord group, private one. I do got a course out there too that I'm planning on kind of re-releasing, and some one-on-one mentorship that I kind of mentioned, here and there in the past week or so. So, it's something that I have looked into now, especially because seeing some sellers who actually want help and are willing to pay for it, I figured why not, right? They're going to learn from it from somebody. At least let it be from someone who actually knows what they're doing, not just some bimbo on social media who, claims they know what they're doing, but they really don't know what they're doing. So, and I'll be honest, I've done my fair share of consultation calls, and yeah, it's been probably some of the easiest money out there that I've ever made. Literally sit there for an hour, make X amount per hour, and that's it. So I really don't blame some of these Discord, lead guys for, trying to run a service like that. And, like I said, I'm being just straight up honest with it, that it really is some easy money. But again, that easy money comes with a bunch of hard work and labor from, past experience. So no way would I be able to sit there and, for $100 an hour, trying to teach somebody something if I don't have the experience to back it up, right? But again, that's just me. And that's where the problem lies with a lot of other sellers. It's just that you don't have that experience to kind of sit down with someone and tell them this or that. How are you going to tell someone how to make their first 6 figures when you're still a 5-figure seller? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Don't even get me started on these groups who teach you how to, start from A to Z. That's a beginner's guide or whatever. Literally all this stuff is free on YouTube, guys. Like, if you're really low on funds and you want to put it into inventory, just join free Discord groups or watch a bunch of YouTube videos. You will learn literally everything from, those resources alone. You really don't need to be paying for a course or anything unless you really just are short on time. If you're really short on time and you can afford it, then, by all means go for it. But yeah, like I mentioned though, it is a convenient way to make money, and I understand why sellers do it. It's just fast. Don't even get me started on mentorships. Dudes will literally pay like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for like a 1 month on, one-on-one sessions of literally just sitting your butt down, basically teaching them on computer, like, hey, here's how to use source, here's how you find suppliers, here's how you do this and that. And it's easy money. I'll be honest, it's easy money. It literally makes sense to actually do it once you actually have the proper knowledge. And so for those people who do it, like I said, nothing wrong with that. I've seen big wholesalers who offer mentorships, big OA sellers who offer it, and honestly, huge respect, because you actually learned your craft, you did what you did, and now you're able to kind of teach someone else how to do it properly, versus the newbie seller who wants to jump in, make their first 10K, and all of a sudden teach you one-on-one mentorship on how to do this or that, right? Like, bro, you don't know shit. Like, so yeah, so just stop. But I mean, that's just my take. That's just my opinion on all this stuff. I know I kind of ramble on, kind of everywhere, but it's just, it's just insane. At the end of the day, though, guys, just make sure that whoever you follow, whoever you pick mentorship from, the courses from, the Discord groups from, make sure that it's someone that you can trust, that you know is doing what they claim they do. And usually you can kind of tell, because if they don't really post much about it, then that kind of speaks for itself, right? Because even if you don't like posting on social media, but you end up posting about mentorship straight from the get-go, that's kind of a big red flag in my opinion. So, but yeah, so just be careful who you follow, who you listen to, and make sure they actually can prove to you that, hey, I've done this before, I can teach you how to do this, let me show you, and whatever. So, but just don't fall for the flashy stuff, please. All the flashy stuff is just that, just flashy stuff, materialistic stuff. Stuff that at the end of the day, guys, really won't bring true meaning to your life. But I can go on a whole different topic on that aspect alone. So, but yeah, guys, hopefully, though, after this video, you guys found some form of value. Like I said, I know I'm kind of rambled on here and there, but I really do hope that it taught you something. It gave you a different perspective on this and that, and just, all that in general. So without further ado, guys, I am heading out. I guess I rambled on too much in this video, so apologies for that. But yeah, like I said, I was just gonna ramble on and just kind of give you my opinion on this topic alone, because in 2024 it truly is important to actually talk about. So, but with that being said, guys, I am out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace as always, and take care.